What's up, guys? I am Miss McKay, your math coach. I do understand that your teacher is not there quite yet, but she will be back very, very soon, so don't you worry. We're going to go ahead and get started on our first math lesson of the year. And I hope you guys are excited to learn. I hope your summer was amazing. And now we are back into our learning environment and ready to participate and engage. All right. So here are our outcomes for today. Read it with me. I can make connections between math and the world around me. All right, so by the end of today's lesson, we will figure out how math and the world around me are connected. Before we get started, we're going to go ahead and watch this quick little video. Hopefully you pay attention to what the video is saying and listen and engage.
Nobody's born smart. We all start at zero. Can't talk, can't walk, certainly can't do algebra. Adding, reading, writing, riding a bike. Nobody's good at anything at first. There was a time when Einstein couldn't count to 10. And Shakespeare had to learn his ABCs just like the rest of us. Thankfully, we're born to learn. Slowly, surely, you stumble, slip, crawl, fall, and fail and fall. Frustrating, confusing, trying, struggling, until one day, you walk. One foot in front of the other, one idea on top of the next, each wrong answer making your brain a little bit stronger. Failing is just another word for growing, and you keep going. This is learning. Knowing that you'll get it, even if you haven't gotten it yet. Because the most beautiful, complex concepts in the whole universe are built on basic ideas that anyone, anywhere, can understand. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you only have to know one thing. You can learn anything.
All right, so I hope you were listening to the video, and in the video, it talks about how we are all capable of learning. It's just a matter of what we put our minds to and how much effort and energy we give it, right? Just because I may not be able to do it right now does not mean that I'm not learning. I'm always learning, just as long as I am working and thinking So now I want you to take about 10 seconds to discuss with your group mates, whoever may be in the same corner as you, to figure out, why do you think your image does not belong? So I want you to take the time to talk to your group about why you chose your corner. What do you notice about the shapes that you think does not, or makes it stand out? All right. If you are in the corner over here that is representing the upside down triangle, can you tell us why you and your group mates said that this triangle does not belong out of all of the other ones? The teacher in the room will pick one of the students within that corner. All right, if you are in the top right-hand corner, closest to the board on the side of the door, can you tell me why you chose this shape to say that it does not belong? All right, give me someone from the corner that is closest to the door, the back right-hand corner, closest to the door. Can you tell me why that shape doesn't belong? And last but not least, those of you who are closest to the sink, can you tell me why you chose this shape to say that it did not belong? All right. Thank you guys for participating. I want you all to go back to your seats quickly and quietly so that we can continue to move on. Notice that there was no right or wrong answer. You chose your answer, and as long as you were able to tell us why you or your group mates chose that answer, then that's okay. So we want you guys to get comfortable with being able to speak and being able to explain why you chose what you chose, okay? All right, so at your tables now, you will have a piece of paper, and then you could have some tools or whatever it is that you decide to use. There should be some manipulatives in the room on that green cubby by the closer to the window. So if you ask your teacher who's in the room, can you use some of those to construct this number? Then we can go ahead and do so as well. But if you want to just use a piece of paper, you and your partner, so it should be you and the person right next to you, will come up with however many ways you can make the number 57. So how many different ways can you and your partner make the number 57? I'm going to give us about 5 minutes to go ahead and complete this task. So you need a piece of paper, a pencil. You can get whatever other resources that's in the room. And you guys will get 5 minutes to complete this task. So we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, remember, it's however you want to come up with it. So you and your partner will discuss how you want to come up with or create the number 57. You can use items or you can draw it, whatever you feel comfortable with doing. And if you come up with it one way, let's think about a different way. So you come up with one, your partner comes up with one, and then after you both come up with one, then you guys can possibly think about another way that you could make this happen. All right, so let's look at some reflection questions, right? Let's see, what did we notice about our drawings? What did we notice about the different ways to make 57? Are there any other ways that you can think of? So I want you guys to take about a minute or so to kind of reflect and look at some of the things, or even look at some of your other table mates. See how they created 57. Did they come up with the same exact ways that you did, or did somebody come up with something different? And if anybody wants to share, you can go ahead and raise your hand now, and we'll go ahead and do some reflections. All right, thank you for participating. All right, so today we are also going to discuss or look at some of the different topics that you will learn as a third grader. Some are old and some are new. Let's see which ones you can relate to and which ones are just like, whoa, what does that mean? All right, so here's one. We have place value with large numbers. Okay, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, time, measurement, division, money, and graphing. All right. So, some you may know, some you may not know. Okay. So, as you are looking at the list, I want you to share with your shoulder partner something on this list you already know about and how you might use this topic outside of school. So I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes, 1 minute for you and 1 minute for your partner to look at the list. So you have about 30 seconds or so to look at the list, 30 seconds more to look at the list, and then I will give you guys 2 minutes to share. All right, so we'll start sharing in 3, 2, 1. So remember, we're sharing something that we know on the list already, and then how you might use this topic outside of school. So the first person should still be sharing. All right, you got about 10 more seconds for that first person to share. And now we are going to switch over to your partner. Now, your partner is going to share their thing that they know from the list and how they might use that particular topic outside of school. All right, we've got about 20 more seconds. All right, would any group or anyone from their group like to take about 10 seconds or so to share what they knew off of the list and how they might use that particular thing outside of school? on the question that I came up with, and I said, what is our favorite color? I would choose 3 colors that we could vote on. So let's say I chose red, blue, and green. So out of the 3 that I chose, we would then create bar graphs based on those 3. So red would be this first one. Then I would put blue in this next one. But notice I skipped over. I didn't put it right beside each other. So I put red. I would put red here, then skip over and put blue, and then skip over and put green. Okay? Because you want to make sure that you keep the spacing. When you're dealing with bar graphs, your bars are not going to be on top of each other, but they're going to be the same distance apart from each other. Okay? So we would go ahead and build our graph based on that. So whatever the question was, and then whatever your categories were, then we will create a graph from there. Another thing that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to when you're dealing with a graph is the scale. Now your scale is the numbers. How are you increasing your numbers? Are you going to go up by 1s? Are you going to go up by 2s? Would it be best to go up by 5s? So those are your scales, meaning are we skip counting by 1? Are we skip counting by 2s? Or are we skip counting by 5s? Based on your tally marks will determine what's going to be the best scale to use. So if your highest number is, let's say 15, but your lowest number is 2, we could skip count by 2s to get there. Or we can use 1s, but that means if we're using 1s, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we're going up by 2s, we're going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, but you want to leave space in between so that you know that when we get to a number that's not easily skip counted by 2, that it'll be in between 2 numbers. So let's say if our highest number was 15, then we skip counted by 2s, we would skip count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now 15 would be in between 14 and 16. So it just depends on what our tally mark says, okay? So you want to make sure that you have all of these pieces and parts when it comes to a graph. So now here's a question, okay? What do you wonder? What did you notice about our class graph? So after you guys create the graph, I want you to go ahead. Each student will receive a sticky note, right? Then you guys will go ahead and be able to put your sticky note on do you wonder? Meaning, what do you think about it, or what do you have questions on? Um, of paper. Make sure you put your name on it. And on this exit ticket, we are making connections. Here are the 3 questions that you're going to answer. First question is, why is it important to make connections in math class? Now, whatever you think is going to be the right answer, let's see what your thought process is, okay? So don't sit there and not do anything. Just go ahead and write it down and then we'll discuss it later, okay? How can making connections help you learn specific things in math? Again, this is what you believe, okay? Thank you.